Right?
Good night, Magspag. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
You make my dreams come true. In my dreams, there's a giant lamb who speaks Spanish. Let's see. Imagine what would have happened if you had planned out further in advance. Can't imagine it going better than it's gone, honestly. Just donated $20. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm scared to put my real name out there. Is that so bad? You know, you don't have to if you don't want, but like I said, if you want a job, at least put some contact information out there.
Or if you're going to use an alias, don't let it be something like Fart Biscuit. Let it be a sophisticated alias.
Like, there's nothing wrong with having your own Tumblr that's called just, you know, Jimmy Fuck Around, and all you do is, you know, reblog drawings of Simba making out with Geordie LaForge. That's fine. Have that, but also have a separate blog called, like, My Portfolio with art and a contact, you know?
Yeah, that's all we want.
Thank you, Gravity Fallen 96, for that $120. That's so awesome. That's so generous of you. Let's see. Can you give me a typical Mabel dream? Watch Gem and the Holograms. That's a typical Mabel dream. Hi, Alex. My name is Bree, and my friend Kelly and I love you so much. Can you please give us a shout out?
Shout out.
I'll never give you. I'll never give you a shout out.
I'll give you a shout out.
Let's see. Would Ford and Rick be friends? I don't think so. Rick's an asshole. They're two stubborn guys who think they're smarter than everyone else.
I think they would have to get into go on a real adventure for them to bond.
I think they could only bond out of hating somebody else, honestly. Let's see. I think it's more likely that Rick and Stan would be friends, because Stan's not that bright, and Rick likes to manipulate people he thinks aren't that bright. And Stan is constantly seeking approval from people like his brother, so... let's see. How much of the 80s is physically condensed into Mabel? Well, so I grew up in the 90s, like, born 1985. I grew up with my sister in the 90s, and, like, when I think of Mabel and Dipper, like, they do kind of exist in this sort of weird, nebulous, like, you know, there's no canon, even though we say, like, oh, 2012 or 2016 or whatever in the show, like, there isn't really a canon year in my mind that they exist in. Like, they exist in this sort of... It has kind of an 80s-y, 90s-y vibe sometimes, like Dipper with that sort of Goonies vest, and Mabel with her kind of like definitely early 90s, I think. Let's see. The Atelier, thank you. I'm glad you had a good time, and you guys cheered us up, seriously. Like,
so much.
I feel so, just impressed. Yeah. Let's see. Stan managed to rebuild a sci-fi portal. He has to be somewhat bright. Yeah. Stan's got people skills, and he's, like, he can be really determined, and he's just rough around the edges, you know. Not book smart, but, you know, I think my intelligence is much closer to Stan's than it is to, Ford's. Let's see. Alex, what was your favorite episode of Storyboard? Well, I don't actually storyboard the episodes. There's boarded by much more talented people than me, who work on our crew, although I would do sort of draw-over sketches on every single episode.
To make sure we weren't drawing the characters like too weird, to make sure it was all in show style.
Yeah, well, I'm sort of picky about the thought process and the characters in their eyes, mostly, like how they seem to be thinking is in their expression, like...
One thing I would always draw Stan with eyebrows too angry, and Alex would have to go over them.
I had this weird...
Which is like I understand why.
Yeah.
It's not like it doesn't make a difference, really.
I had this weird rule on the show where, like, I generally didn't want the characters to look too mad, just because, like when a person like, the slightest millimeter of difference in a muscle in your eyebrow communicates the difference between annoyance to murderous rage. And, like, to me, these characters very rarely feel full-on murderous rage. Like, the only time I would give Stan, like, full-on rage eyebrows is, like, in the deep end, where he's like, get out of my chair, Gideon! Like, that's, forgot Ford's 5 o'clock shadow. Oh, that I did.
We'll get to it, don't worry.
We'll get to it. We're almost done with this one. Let's see. Thanks so much for Gravity Falls. Thank you for watching it. I've said this before, but I really did not expect the kind of viewership that we got. Still kind of can't believe it. Let's see. Amelia Akari's 2nd grade students say hi, and they want to say thank you. Thank you to you guys for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's see. Every comment just kind of whizzes by, so we only see it for like a moment before it disappears. Let's see. Shout out to Miche from the Philippines.
Shout out.
One of my best friends growing up was Filipino. You guys rule. Let's see. Is the Oxalotl poem canon? Sure. Let's see.
Okay, I think it's ready for human. Wait.
Yeah. Okay. So
Amelia?
Amelia,
Here it is.
there's your drawing. Of course, like we said, we'll be reaching out to you guys to figure out how to send you prints. But screen cap this now if you want it, sort of in your world.
And away it goes for human bill.
Okay. All right.
You guys asked for this.
One moment. I'm gonna see real quick how we're doing on cash. 23. Impressive. If you guys can get 25 before I finish.